Hello everyone, welcome to my live weekly meeting. I started with a beautiful posthumous waltz in B minor, of course by one and only Mr. Frédéric Chopin. And now I am ready to wait a second. It's always the same problem. I'm ready to talk with you for the next 20 minutes. Okay. I'm happy to see you all. And dobry wieczór wszystkim, witam serdecznie na moim cotygodniowym spotkaniu tutaj z fanami. Przede wszystkim po angielsku. Na polski język zapraszam za pół godziny, za 25 minut, 20 minut na Facebook. Witam serdecznie. Tak, to był walc Hamol, brawo. Jakoś tak ten walc ostatnio bardzo mi się podoba. Grałem go na koncercie teraz w Oświęcimiu i przemówił do mnie jakoś. Paul Fliet is asking about the best tempo for nocturne. It should be a flowing tempo, but this nocturne is like as if you are improvising, you know. So absolutely it can, because the beginning is like you open the curtain up, so you just, and then you wait, you listen to this sound long, and then you just connect as much as possible. So then silence, everybody's waiting. It's so beautiful, what's next? And then you start as if you're just improvising. You know, when I play this nocturne many times, and every time I play a little differently, because this is how this music is. It's a little like the beginning or the opening of the ballad number 1. You can play like this, but you can also play like... You can play thousands different versions, and each of them is good. Hi Nicolas, no, my newborn baby is not Frédéric, although you know, there is a story in my life. Last year my wife was pregnant, and the baby, actually the doctor said that the baby is to be born on the 1st of March. Imagine, we had the date, the 1st of March last year. So we thought if it's gonna be a boy, it will be a Frédéric for sure, if it will be born on the 1st of March. But unfortunately there was a miscarriage quite early. I think it was the 12th week or something, or earlier. So we lost this child, and that was very bad. But now what happened was that the child was born exactly on the 27th of January. And do you know who was born on the 27th of January? Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. So the second name of my son is Amadeus. The first is Adam. That's the story. Robin, you are absolutely right. It's andante, so it shouldn't be too slow. But still we have to... 1, 2, 3... Well, andante, I always think about, like Chopin also thought about andante as a walking. But it's a walking, it's a stroll, you know. You walk through the park. It's not that you are walking fast. Fast walking is andantino. So, but it's a very, you know, it's, I think the pianist should play like he or she feels. That's actually a very interesting topic. You know, I think when, of course, we have to respect what the composer wrote, but in some, like tempo, for example, we have some freedom. So I think it's much better, even if the pianist plays a little slower, when he really feels inside his soul, that's the best tempo for him or her. I think it's the best what can be done, because then the listeners and he and so she, they can feel that it's harmony in it. That's what I think. Hi Lucas, I strongly advise and recommend and invite you to watch my video about it. There is a YouTube video, a fantastic YouTube video, which I made to clarify this. But of course I can play. I love to show it on this waltz, you know. This is when you play it as a waltz. It's you like a dance, like a waltz. So 1, 2. And if it were a mazurka, listen, it will be very awkward. Have you ever heard something? That's how we dance mazurka in Polish. Now 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Ridiculous, right? But that's the shortest way. Well, waltz in A minor, it's one of my favorite. I really love it. I absolutely love it. It's simple, but it's genius. I made an analysis. You should watch it because I show the genius when how is Chopin playing with the little motifs in this waltz. And it's written in the end of his life. Very, very nice, very beautiful. Thanks, Nicholas. Absolutely, we'll do everything possible that he will be, well, most of all, a good person and a cultured person, loving music. When it comes to the musician, well, everybody says, oh, he will be a musician. I'm saying I just give him a freedom to choose, show him everything. When I was a child, you know, I played football and soccer, and I played tennis, and I played chess, and I did so many different things. Of course, I was playing piano as well, but I treated it as a play. I had a brother 5 years older, so we did everything together. I had such a fantastic childhood when it comes to this freedom of doing things that I just wanted. Nobody never made me do something like you have to practice 6 hours. No. That was never like that, and I'm happy because I think I have a lot to play about in my music, a lot of memories, you know. This is very important. Oh, Adash, hi. Adash, like my son's name. Anyway, it's very happy to read your comment. I'm scrolling up now just to see whether I missed something. Tim88. Powodzenia. Tak, to jest piękny jest ten wals. Przepiękny. Okay, Javier, I don't know if you're still here, but now I read your comment. I'm curious to know how you feel about certain interpretation of Chopin's Waltz Op. 64 number 2, specifically when certain players rush through section B. No shame. Absolutely, I hate that. I hate that. I also hate when they rush part A, when they play. When it sounds like a circus music. And it's a late Chopin. We have to remember it's a late Chopin. It's an elegant waltz, very sad and full of sorrow, very nostalgic, especially because it comes after number 1, which is light and fast. Then I think it's in my opinion, but everybody is different, you know. But I hate when they play it too fast. It is not an etude. It's not a show-off piece. Not at this period of Chopin's life. How long did you get to practice a day when you were teens? And when did you know you would be a pianist and not other career? I will tell you, but before I will answer also Ignatius. Well, I must say at this I don't really know so much. So I think you have to Google it. You have to find. I don't know that these B things. Sorry, I just know opus numbers, and well, then the rest of I really when I play the posthumous pieces, I simply write opus posthumous. I don't I don't write any numbers of this. Dragon New World. Yes, well, well, practice. Well, you know what helped me in this? You mean this? Mental practicing without piano, but imagine every single finger on every single note with your eyes closed, and you just have to be sure that you just play right hand only. But wait, I had this fantastic question I just want to answer. No właśnie, Epic Rybka, odpowiedziałem na to po angielsku. To B, ja przepraszam, ale ja też nie wiem, co to znaczy. Trzeba to znaleźć w internecie, bo ja nie interesuje mnie to. Powiem szczerze, numery utworów pośmietnych Chopina nie interesują mnie, bo to są pośmietne. Ja je traktuję jako wszystkie jakby w jednym worku. Natomiast ktoś to musiał oczywiście udokumentować i nadać te nazwy. Okay, so when I was a teenager, I didn't practice that much, but the more serious I got in piano, the more I practiced. But also I had a lot subjects at school. You know, I actually it's a long story, but I had to commute to school from my hometown 1.5 hour one way. Imagine, by bus, and then took a tram. One way, 1.5 hour, and then back. So I left home. I remember every day it was I had a bus at 6 o'clock, so I had to wake up like at 5, and then I arrived 7:30, and I got to practice usually. Sometimes I had a bus at 5:33, then I got at 7 and I practiced 1 hour. Then I had lessons and I came back home at 4 or sometimes p.m. or 5 p.m. But I believe it or not, those, first of all, my when almost all my high school I had no cell phone and no mobile. So what was fantastic was that I was reading books instead of just sitting with my phone, which now is common for young people, I think. And I strongly recommend that, because this was amazing. I read so many books, I can't even tell you in count, and in both English, because I was obsessed in English that time, obsessed with this language, and the Polish, and it was a fantastic time. But I didn't get to practice so much, so I practiced on the weekends, or my parents were so nice that very often they just let me not skip school so that I could practice. But I think I would say on the weekends it was like 6 hours, I think 5-6, but during the week maybe 1 or 2, not more. And I decided to be a pianist probably on my last, like the final decision, on my last year of high school, which was when I was 18. Then I had a few breakdowns, like probably everybody, later on, but I decided I will never give up, and I just continue. No, Epic Rybka, widzisz. Ja tego nie wiem na przykład, ale to jest ciekawe faktycznie, warto. Do you like practicing when other people can listen, like family? I mean, you mean like sitting? No, not really. When I practice, as you can see, I'm closed here. This room is a soundproof room, so that I almost, well, it's 90% soundproof. Hi Phil, hello. I got your payment from my CDs, by the way. I wanted to answer you later, but there was a lot to do at home, so I can tell you now. Thank you very much. I will send it next week probably. I don't think I will do it tomorrow. I try tomorrow, but I'm not sure if I will be able to do it. Hola, Chile. Nunca he estado en Chile, pero me gustaría tocar ahí un día. Es muy lejos de Polonia. So when I practice, I prefer to focus. But when I also like to play for family members, so that I get a little nervous, especially when I prepare a new program. Yes, Canada. I really want to come to Canada one day, and as far as some people told me, it's much easier when it comes to visas in Canada than in the United States. So So I will try to do it actually next year, not this year. W Dąbrowie Górniczej mieszka mój brat i rodzice, ale nie mają już biletów, więc chyba nie przyjdą. Natomiast no to jest wspaniały pianista i to jest cudownie, że gra. I na pewno to ja bardzo mi się podobały jego, nigdy go nie słyszałem na żywo, ale występy na konkursie chopinowskim piękne, więc na pewno to będzie cudowny koncert. Jakby jeszcze ktoś pięknie o muzyce mówił dla was, żeby to było łatwiej zrozumiane, to by było w ogóle jeszcze lepiej. Oh, Phil, thank you. Well, maybe I will come back to this, to streaming my practicing sometimes. Hello, Tomasz. Want to understand here, what books or anything will you recommend? Well, that is, if you really are intellectual, you should read Mieczysław Tomaszewski's books. But they are very difficult, but they are great. He was a great musicologist and Chopinologist, which I can recommend, but they are very hard. The language that because he was a university like scholar and professor, so sometimes, in my opinion, he could write in a little simpler language, but that's my philosophy, to talk about difficult things using simple language. But these books are good, and also very good book is Chopin as seen by his students, by Jean-Jacques Eigeldinger. Chopin w oczach swoich uczniów in Polish. It's a great book. I recommend as well. Thank you, LH. Thank you. Well, I do try as much as I have time, but I don't. I think I would love to have more time to share more with you. Hi, Luciano. Yeah, that yes, Allegro de Concert. This is something. When I prepare it for my CDs as well, my new CDs, then I will also make analysis of this piece. This is a piece that somehow, well, it's extremely demanding, and I really need to focus entirely on this for quite some time. So, well, hopefully this year there will be an analysis of this and some other pieces as well. I will come back to this to finish it completely. Yunchan Lims, I haven't listened to his Chopin etudes yet, but this is something I'm going to do when I will be traveling to some of my concerts. I will just put it in my car, because now I really whenever I have some free time, either I'm with my son and doing things at home, or I practice, or I prepare an online course on piano literature. So that's. But I've heard some of his competition recordings, which was of course unbelievable, and he's very young, so now it's very interesting how he will develop. But he's a genius, absolutely a genius. I'm not sure if Bach concertos, I don't know. They do, I think they do. Well, in the past they did maybe more, but maybe now because of this political situation they don't want. But I think it's a little bit stupid not to play Russian. I think they do actually. You should check it. Vince, yes. Well, actually, all Chopin etudes would be very good to play before you play Ballad No. 1, but you should start from Coda, that's for sure. Oh, Mr. J Match is very difficult to answer here in just a few words. Adaś, miło mi bardzo. Tylko one czasami są długie, więc naprawdę trzeba posiedzieć, żeby je posłuchać. So I think it's difficult to answer this. I always recommend the Hanon exercises because they really give you a lot when it comes to the technique. I attempted Liszt Feu Follet for 3 weeks, and then I thought, okay, it's a waste of time. It will take me too long. So I'd rather I prefer to learn some Beethoven sonatas at the same time, and I skipped it. Not everybody has to play that, right? Oh, thank you, Alina. I'm so happy to hear that. Well, I unfortunately I stopped this project. I had a dream to analyze all Mozart sonatas, but then the COVID stopped, and I started to play concerts. So I stopped. I have never attempted Alkan. Unfortunately, well, I like his music, of course, but there's so much music, and it's just too difficult. He wrote those music. His music is just sometimes written like especially difficult. But of course Beethoven was the same. But there is a difference between them, because he is like very wicked, and sometimes some notes are simply unnecessary. But Hamelin, which is my favorite pianist, I know. Oh, yes, I know. But he has a different story, of course, different growing. I was not a child prodigy, so that's I have a different. So everybody has a different story, and everybody. Yeah, I'm not really a fast learner. I'm a little slower learner, so it takes a lot of time for me to learn pieces. I'm sorry, guys, if I didn't answer all your questions. Hi, Alexandria Collins, classical vocal musician, wonderful. Greetings to the United States, and thanks a lot for watching my videos. Winter Wind, yeah, this is something I still have to record. So that will be still, I recorded 8 CDs now of Chopin's music, and there is still 5 more to make. Hopefully I will finish in 2026, and then I will be really very, very satisfied and happy to have recorded all Chopin's music. I didn't name this song. It's wait. This oh gosh, I just forgot the title now. I have the melody, but I forgot the title. Hi Piotr, I played never with orchestra. I played number 2, but I only learned number 1, but never really had it fully in a concert on the concert level. I think everybody should play the fingering that is comfortable for their hands, but it's very good to start from the fingering that is written, or the teacher's fingering, and then generally speaking you have to try fingering in the final tempo. That's the thing. You cannot finger the piece in a slow tempo and then play fast, because it's a completely different it's a different way of playing. Hello, Greg. How do you go about programming shorter works to fit into a larger emotional arc for the recital? Yeah. Hi, Brandon. Well, I tell you how. You should do the first part in a shorter pieces, and then you can put the larger emotional pieces in the second part. That works very well. Or the last piece of the first part should be large, and that also works. One general question, Nicholas. What was this question? Let me see, because I have to go soon, so I want to answer. I'm scrolling up. Oh, it was, I don't know. I'm looking for it. Can't find it though. Can you write it again, please, before I leave? So I will answer you. I'm really sorry, guys, but I have to go, because yes, I'm already late for my Facebook Live. So I will be here next week, okay? So if you can be here next week at the same time, I will answer all your questions. Now I really have to go, because there are people waiting for me. Ćwiczenia Hanona popieram bardzo, tylko proszę ćwiczyć rękami osobno, bo wtedy dają najwięcej. I have been to Chopin's house many times. I live in Poland, quite far from this place, but I have been there many times. Thank you very much, everybody. Welcome next week at this time. If you are curious, I will try to answer all your questions. It is absolutely okay to sacrifice perfection for emotion. I do the same thing. So I'm happy to answer your question. Beethoven answered your question first. He was the first to answer. Emotions always first, but you should seek for perfection, of course. But you see, I think in the concert, 99% of your audience will never be really... They will not really care. I mean, if you play perfectly but cold, they will forget your concert the next morning. But even if you don't play perfect, but with emotions, your own emotions, then they will sometimes never forget your performance. That's what I think. Thank you very much, guys. I really have to go, and see you next week. Bye-bye.